strike me down, I shall become more powerful than you could possibly imagine.
Another day, another video. This one's a very quick Bulldog bite, and I know I've got a lot of new subscribers out there, so when I say Bulldog bite, what I mean is a gameplay video that I find interesting and I wanted to share, but it's not something that I necessarily consider a true counter or a recommended counter. This can be for various reasons. Maybe it's not something that's repeatable. Maybe the other team isn't a maxed out team. They don't have all their Zetas or something like that. So not something I necessarily recommend you prepare for in Grand Arena, but is something that I think I thought was interesting at least. And this one comes from Raider Hater 52, First Order plus Wat versus Jedi Knight Revan. So 2 days ago I showed First Order plus Wat taking on a Night Sister squad, and I thought it was really good. And that was what I would consider a true counter, a team that I would actually recommend using depending on your situation. This one is a little bit different, but he saw the first video, and again, Raider Hater 52, huge shout out, reached out and said, "Hey, look what else a First Order team can do." And so he sent me this footage here, and you can see it's against a fairly high relic Jedi Knight Revan squad. And the relics are higher on the Jedi Knight Revan squad than they are on the First Order squad. But you'll notice right away the First Order squad goes first. First Order officer needs to be faster, so we can give turn meter to Wat, so we can give 2 techs to start the match. That is pretty important. It's not that the Jedi Knight Revan squad is modded poorly. They're just modded for very high offense. So this happens to be a team that's modded for damage, and that allows the First Order squad to actually outspeed them and get off to a pretty good start, letting Wat assign the 2 techs. So the tech on crew is going to help him become a little tankier, restore that protection, make it harder to get around his taunt, and then Executioner is going to do huge damage with this tech because he's going to ignore defense. So we'll see. That was that 94. One hit Yoda right out of the gate. And then, so Jedi Knight Revan goes around the taunt, marks Wat. As long as he doesn't mark First Order Executioner, this tends to work pretty well, according to Raider Hater. So it's, the problem is it's kind of random. If they mark First Order Executioner, then that kind of goes downhill pretty fast. But basically what you're doing is just allowing him to do huge damage, 120,000 on Kenobi, and we know Kenobi's pretty beefy and took out all of his protection plus some, and then starts gets the offense up, buffs and that type of thing. Here he didn't get that buff because we wanted crew to taunt again and recover that protection. So remember, every time he gets a turn, he's recovering 30% protection. So, and you can see this isn't necessarily the cleanest of battles. We've already lost Wat, and I think he's not the only one that will lose as this goes forward. But this makes me really want a Relic 7 First Order Executioner, especially with the First Order content that we know is coming from the new movie. It seems unlikely that First Order Executioner won't play a big role with how much damage he can do damage and control as well. So taking out Yoda here is going to be no problem. 120,000 damage again, and he goes again if he gets a killing blow. There didn't get a crit there, unfortunately. And then Crew's, we know how good Crew is as well. He's got that stun that can't be resisted, which is big because Jolie has quite a bit of tenacity here. And I'm going to show the mods on the First Order team, or the total stats on the First Order team once this battle's up. I don't have the full stats for the Jedi Knight Revan team, but I just know that they were modded very heavy in offense. 133,000 hit there. That is quite a whopping. And well, he can't be stunned, unfortunately, but that doesn't matter. 91,000 on the basic, and got Foresight out, unfortunately, but we'll get through this here pretty soon. Just need one more hit from First Order Executioner. What's the final? Oh, I say one more hit. Didn't get the crit, but that, what was that? 55,000 damage on a non-crit. I'd say that is that's pretty good there. So here's what the First Order Executioner looks like. You need a lot of health because he does extra damage based on his health. So mod him for health and damage. Speed's only 54. You see, he doesn't need a lot of speed because he's gaining that extra turn meter. It's not as important. And you just want him hitting hard, and he was hitting very hard there. And then Wat, I don't know why the bot won't pull up the picture of Wat, but you don't even need his Zeta necessarily. You want him to go first, and even without the Zeta, he still gains turn meter at the start, so you should be able to make him go first. The Zeta does make that a guarantee. And then his speed doesn't really matter because First Order Officer will then give him that turn anyways. And you saw that he died immediately after that. So he gives his 2 techs off the beginning, and then his role isn't all that important after that. First Order Officer, we got a lot of speed here. 147 on the mods. This wasn't even G13 though. He didn't even have the G13 piece. So he is, when you're comparing his speed to Jedi Knight Revan, equal mods, if you're putting speed mods on both of them, Jedi Knight Revan is going to be faster. So that is one reason I don't consider this really a true counter, because you do have to have him modded faster, and most people will mod their Jedi Knight Revan for quite a bit of speed so that he can call Yoda and get Yoda's turn going and all of that. But some people do mod him for offense like you see here. So if you just either have superior mods, which is certainly possible since a lot of people don't have their best mods on Jedi Knight Revan anymore. If we're talking about Grand Arena, you can put a focus on First Order Officer and getting his speed up there, and it's certainly possible you can outspeed even a Jedi Knight Revan that's modded for speed if they've got them as their 3rd or 4th team anymore. So anyways, the crew, we do have a Relic 7, so he has to be able to absorb a little bit of damage. You can see quite a bit of health and protection. And the last one, Kylo. Speed is important for him because he can spread the turn meter. Turn meter, all the First Order team get execution of those extra hits and all of that. So huge shout out once again to Raider Hater 52 for sending this to me. And like I said, I thought this would be something that you guys like. And I know compared to some of the other videos I've had out recently, this one isn't anything exciting, but it was still fun. And I think I've got a second video coming today. So if not today, there's plenty of days left in my 14 days of content. There's a lot more coming. Be sure to subscribe. Thank you guys very much. And as I've been saying, you're still gonna be seeing a lot of me in the next week. So have a good night.